How's it going, everybody? Welcome back, and let's talk about intersections in TypeScript. So we've already talked about interfaces and how to extend them to the keyword extends, but with intersections, this is how we combine types to create an entirely new type. And let's go ahead and take a look at an example here. So I have two types, right? And two properties for each. I have person and employee. And if I want to go ahead and make a third type out of these two, I can do that super easily, right? Let's call this staff member. And what we're going to do is we are just going to do an equal sign and then person and then an ampersand and then employee. It's simple as that. Now, we're going to go over two kind of gotchas with intersections. So let's take a look here. Let's go ahead and just implement this. And we're just going to create a staff member and we're just going to call this John. All right. And let's go ahead and implement this correctly. We're going to go ahead and just give him a name really fast and John. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead. Age, let's say like 22. Okay, employee ID. Look at that autocomplete. Fantastic. We'll say he's the first employee. Okay. And company email. Let's just go ahead and say like john@hello.com. Okay. So we have all of this. Nothing is wrong. Everything is working. Now, if I go ahead and let's go ahead and give him a social security number, and we want this to be a number. Okay. And let's say an employee also has a social security number. Well, and we're going to call this a string. All right. Let's try to kind of create a conflict here. So the first thing that we're going to see is it's like, hey, there is no social security number property here. So let's go in here and make one. And we're getting a little bit of an issue here. Let's just go ahead and say like 1, 2, 3. Okay. And let's take a look at the error. Okay, so type number is not assignable to type never. This is very interesting. So in TypeScript, if there is a type conflict, right, with these properties, because they're the same property name, we are going to get a type never. So you're not going to see that conflict, right, at the time that we create this third type, right, this intersection type, but you are going to see that as an issue when you're actually implementing it. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, another thing to keep in mind is, let's just make this number so we're all set. If this is optional and this isn't, then we're going to get a problem here, because if we have a mandatory property, that is always going to override a conditional property, or an optional property, I should say, when we are working with intersection types. And that kind of makes sense. If one's optional and one's not, they're going to make it mandatory. And as you see, we're getting that error message accordingly. So those are kind of two quick gotchas. Intersections are super easy to handle. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.